Thank you for staying with us. Now, Alera, that...
Thank you for praying for us.
And thank you for praying for us. Someone sent a message that they are praying for us. Okay, Alera, but you see that matter we were looking at is sometimes a bit scary when it comes to health issues. So information is really apt. I'm talking about information. So there are times we need to find out from government what exactly is going on, because some governments don't, so please, I'm not calling any government, governments don't some governments don't communicate. It is not a sin or a crime to communicate to the people you're leading. Someone said that. In fact, it's a sin and a crime if you do not communicate, because they will not know what you're doing. So talking about that, we now got to talk to one government in particular, because we hear they're building roads that are concrete roads that are as tall as this table, I understand. Is it 6 inches of concrete or over 6 inches?
Last 20 years.
Last over 20 years. Anyway, so that's what we heard.
Wow.
So they are here to explain to us what exactly is happening there in the area of...
If those stories are true, right?
If the stories are true. And we'll also go and check it out. Infrastructure, lighting, housing, education, agriculture, health, security, empowerment, blah, 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 blah. But hey. Okay, so to help us understand what's happening, we have here in the studio the Ebonyi State Commissioner for Information and State Orientation, and also Acting Commissioner for Human Capital Development and Monitoring. That's plenty of responsibility for Mr. Orji Uchenna Orji, who is also a legal practitioner. Honorable Commissioner, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Wait, information and state orientation, right?
Sure.
So you're looking at the mindset, paradigm shift. We'll come back to that. Then you're also Acting Commissioner for Human Capital Development and Monitoring. Please, just tell us...
We've got a very busy man on our hands.
Tell us what your job entails.
As a matter of fact, my job entails...
Sorry. Tell us what the people of Ebonyi have asked you to do for them.
They have asked me to carry out the mandate of information dissemination, projecting the very programs and projects of the state government, and also to ensure that we develop the human capital. Human capital entails mental empowerment, psychological empowerment. Of course, you know that before 2015, we used to have inferiority complex because of the level of development we had at that time. And also, we are meant to also give also a moral capacity to our people, and also to ensure that they are physically empowered, giving financial empowerment. So this is cardinally the mandate of the Minister of Human Capital Development. In the course of time, I will tell you the very essence of all of these and the philosophy behind the creation of that human capital development.
Wait, sorry. You sound like one of our friends here. Dawn.
Oh. Please.
I was about to say, seriously. Okay, well, go ahead.
Yes, you mentioned that before 2015, you had an inferiority complex. What was the reason for that? And how have you negotiated that curve?
Thank you so very much. Ebonyi State was created in 1996. I was carved out of the then Enugu State, or the Enugu and Abia State, together. So we became one state, Ebonyi State, south of the nation. But we were really criminally marginalized, neglected. We were called dust of the nation, even when the slogan was or is south of the nation. And so that was what we suffered. We suffered the deficit to human capital, and our infrastructure was in a shambles. And of course, we had two military governors and two civilian governors before they come in on board of our governor. Incidentally, the governor of Ebonyi State, as you were, was a party chairman for years, and he was a deputy governor, and became the first deputy governor in the history of the world to become governor when the master said he cannot be, because he was to become governor. And the boss said, no, he cannot be as a deputy governor. People were like, have you ever seen where a deputy governor was made a governor when the boss said no? And so he became the first. But then the interesting thing about his emergence is that he had the opportunity of going through the nooks and crannies of the state, and given the fact that he came from the background of private sector, coupled with the experience, and coupled with what I call the 3 E's of leadership that are in his favor: education, experience, and exposure. This exposure I'm talking about is exposure with passion. A man that where he goes or travels out of the country, he comes back and demolishes. He doesn't sleep. What he does is to work, to ensure that he launches our state into the Committee of Advanced States of the World. You recall that the whole of Africa, there is no state or nation that is said to be a developed one. We are like in a third world country. But his very determination is to bring us out from that map of the underdeveloped states, to launch us into the Committee of States, so the advanced states of the world. And in the course of time, I'll tell you what he has done and where we are so far.
Indeed, you will tell us what he has done. So let's get down to it. In 1998, I went through Ebonyi State to Cross River, and it was you said they called it the dust of the earth. It was a dusty road going through Ebonyi State, connecting Abomege, Adadama, Itigidi, Ugep, and all of that. So it was really dusty. But in 2016, I went through that same axis again from Ebonyi into Cross River, and it was a completely different story. Then we now hear stories of roads built as tall as this table, as in the base infrastructure is as tall as this table. What is happening? What's the plan?
As a matter of fact, the governor of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Engineer Chief David Nwenzo Mahi, upon coming on board exactly on the 29th day of May 2015, declared his roadmap and, of course, did identify the areas where we are getting it wrong: infrastructure, security, health, education, and, of course, agriculture, where we have advantage that we needed to really improve upon that. So the governor had to take the bull by the horn by drawing a blueprint on how to address all the issues comprehensively and evenly across the 13 local government areas of the state. So he started with what I call road infrastructure and urban renewal. That was very aggressive, very massive and comprehensive. He had to capture the 13 local government areas and started to roll out programs. In the area of infrastructure, he had to introduce what is called concrete pavement that is done with 8 inches. This is real, and it's the first governor to introduce that in the whole Nigeria. Of course, I think he did travel and saw where it was used to do road in the U.S., so he had to introduce it. Now, when he did, he had to really...
8 inches is about this.
Yes.
Yeah. Concrete.
Concrete, yes. And this he has done in the 13 local government areas. He did not less than 25 kilometers per local government. And where a bridge is required, he would always do. And so we are celebrating 13 local government areas with no less than 25 roads of concrete pavement. And again, the governor also had to appreciate the fact that the federal road does not belong, in any state, doesn't belong to the federal government, so to speak. It's not for them to use it, sorry. He had to really say that it is to be used by the people of the state. So every federal road linking, whether from Enugu to Ebonyi, from Abia to Ebonyi, from Cross River to Ebonyi, or from Benue to Ebonyi, had to, factor them in the developmental programs. I had to really construct or reconstruct, as the case may be, those federal roads. And in some cases, he would use this 8 inches concrete pavement. And I tell you that all the roads leading to Ebonyi State have been constructed, the federal roads. The governor didn't have to wait for federal government to do that because the end users are the people of the state. Now, the governor looked at the urban and saw a lot of issues of very bad roads and how to reconstruct not less than 520-kilometer roads within the metropolis, within the capital city. And, of course, in each of these cases, he would use essentially the concrete road issue.
But in all of this road construction, where are the contractors coming from?
Oh, that's a very good question. The governor believes that we must discourage cattle flight. Well, by his background, he's an engineer, and so he had to engage engineers from within. And where he requires expatriate to assist, he would do that. But essentially, those that are doing the work, the contractors are indigenous contractors, within Nigeria and essentially from Ebonyi State. But one thing that is important is the passion, the selflessness in the work, the issue of integrity. The governor ensures what is called quality assurance. And he does that by deploying what is called monitoring and evaluation process mechanism. He's everywhere. He's like omnipresent. Okay. In the evening, the night is working,
Where does Ebonyi State get the money to do all this?
Very important. Ebonyi State has one of the lowest allocation profile as far as the federal government is concerned. And also, of course, the IGR is also one of the lowest. But the secret is the prudence. The secret is also the monitoring and evaluation that I'm telling you. The secret is also the selflessness that you see in the leader, which has been really been made to affect even the lieutenants. So that is the secret. I'll not tell you more, but passion, essentially passion. It works in the day and the night. And if you don't get it right, it is either it is right or it is not right to him. And that is why, as I speak with you, if you see Ebonyi State now, it is like the Dubai of Nigeria. The street light there, I can tell you that it is 12 hours non-stop.
And how are they powered?
Well, in some cases, solar. We are trying to ensure that solar plays a predominant role. But before now, it used to be diesel. But people were like wondering, how is it possible? But
how can you afford it?
How can you afford it? I know of a man, when we started in the first 2 months of the first administration, who was saying that in the next 2 months that thing was going to stop. But it never stopped. 6 to 6 non-stop light. And I think we've had each local government has no less than 20 kilometer street light. If you multiply by 13, you know what it will give you. Then all the streets of the metropolis, all the streets, I'm telling you, have been lightened up. And this street light, like I said, does not go off. Sometimes I begin to wonder if this kind of a person becomes, maybe a leader at the national level. That means he can fix our power. So we are enjoying street light that is non-stop. I want to tell you one thing. Beyond this, the governor also thinks that beautification of the capital city is also essential. So we have a lot of fountains, beautiful fountains. I've been to Lagos, and what I'm seeing in Lagos, when I compare it with what we have in Ebonyi, I have to say the governor is really a wonderful man. We have the biggest fountain, Africa's biggest fountain in Ebonyi State, I tell you. Now we have also flyovers. These flyovers, 3 gigantic flyovers. We are built within 3 years. In the southeast, we have only one in Anambra. That one, the big truck cannot ply through it. But this one, even if you take 10 trucks, it will pass. And of course, very long, 3 in number. Now, beyond that, the governor said that after Lagos and Abuja, that Ebonyi should be a state with the highest number of flyovers. And he's working on it. He is, as I speak with you, doing 8 number flyovers in the major junctions of the 3 senatorial zones to connect, of course, including Abomege, that is almost 90% completed, with double lane, to march. And that is exactly where we are in the area of urban renewal. I can tell you that beyond this, that the governor has also ensured, we have what is called light tunnel, President Muhammadu Buhari light tunnel. Of course, you remember that Buhari, the president came to flag off that project of light tunnel, and I'm sure that Ebonyi was the first place he slept among all the states of the federation because of the wonders he saw in Ebonyi State. As I speak with you, that very light tunnel is very beautiful. It has about 96 span, very strong.
Okay, that's
yes,
stadium. Very,
very strong, very long, very beautiful. I have never seen anything. I think it's the biggest in Africa. That is a light tunnel. It's a tunnel. It's the biggest in Africa.
Is this stadium ready?
The stadium this is a prototype of the stadium that the governor wants to construct. The governor has designed it in such a way, a manner that after Lagos and Abuja, the best stadium will be that of Ebonyi State. Construction has started in earnest. And beyond this, the governor is also doing airport, which he said will be one of the best also.
Well, the question I want to ask you is, Ebonyi State doesn't have any football team in the Nigerian Premier League yet.
Yes, I agree with you. It is one of the issues that the Minister of Youth and Sport is addressing. We are really getting the talents as I speak with you, and we are doing locals, getting people from the local. I know this time we will have a very strong and varied team.
Okay.
But we intend to partner with private sector to see how they can also assist in the area of funding, because government will not do all the businesses.
Okay. Mr. Oji, those clips showed a very beautiful Ebonyi State, and indeed those fountains are beautiful. especially since they were all recorded at night, so, the lights reflecting on them and all that. That is water. How much water do the people of Ebonyi State have to drink?
Talking about social amenities, I've talked about light, about roads. Water is also very critical. We have a very gigantic water project in each of the 3 zones. The one at Okao in the south, where in Onitsha, near Abomeke. We have also the one at Oferebe, also very close to Cross River, by the side of Ebonyi Central. We also have the one at Ishelu. The governor is working hard to put them. It has been test run 1 or 2 occasions, but the governor intends to reticulate it across the 3 zones, and that is what is ongoing. Reticulation is ongoing now. So, but essentially at the metropolis, water is going on, is running, but the governor wants to ensure it does extend to the rural communities. There are also other water projects. We have Evo Water Project, where I come from, my own local government. It is ongoing. If I happen to be the secretary of a committee that has been given the mandate to ensure that it is completed, and the governor is working so that by the time he bows out, issue of water will be a thing of the past. The thing about Ebonyi and water is that we have a lot of issues because of the land tenure, land texture. Structure. Yeah, structure. And he's aggressively addressing it. He has also invited expatriates to really see how those issues can be sorted out. Okay, a lot of facilities have been bought to see that
we are almost running out of time, so we're going to have to jam some questions in. One is, when the governor leaves, what happens to continuity? Is it about the governor now, or are there institutions being built so that when Governor Mahi finishes, the next governor that comes in can just run with that and take Ebonyi to the point where economic development index of the state shoots up?
Yeah, I agree with you. It is really a big question which between the governor and God, it can be solved. But I want to say that institutions are being put in place. One of the ways the governor is really working towards that is to raise people, what he calls a mentorship program, where he has a lot of people who are being appointed. Ebonyi State has the highest number of executive council members, close to about 96 number executive council members. And people will ask, this is not in line with the best practice. The idea of the governor is that from here they will understudy him. The man is an institution. He's a man you need to study. He's a man that does things extraordinarily, so he's raising people. He also has a lot of people who are appointed as TAs, technical assistants, STAs, and executive assistants. The idea is for them to really understudy the secrets of the governor's very rare performance, so that when he does bow out, he will hand over to people who have really understudied him. I want to say one thing. The governor really has a lot of track record that we need to copy. Even as a nation, we need to copy.
Housing, for instance, how's that coming out?
Is that what?
The housing situation.
Oh, housing situation. I would just merge it with commerce. The governor has what is called the biggest shopping mall ever built by any government in the whole of Africa. I'm telling you the whole truth. I stand to be contradicted. That is about 90% completed. By March, according to the governor, it will be fully completed. Shopping mall, where we are engaging no less than 3,000 people who will be shop owners. And of course, the job that will be created, the work that will be created. Of course, we are partnering with other expatriates to see how they can come and invest in the place. We also have the international market, what we call Margaret to my international market. It is situated along the Trans-Sahara Highway between Cross River linking to Cameroon. And this national market is one of the biggest in Nigeria and the biggest in the southeast. It's almost 90% completed. In fact, the governor has directed by 10th of February, all the people who want to stay there will have to move in. So these are the areas, the housing project the governor is doing. Let me also tell you that we have the biggest governor's lodge ever, biggest, most beautiful. You need to watch it from the screen. That governor's lodge is just a wonder on earth. We also have a lot of structures he has built, to see that in civil servants and also public servants also have in a pride of place. We have a lot of quarters that are being developed, the commissioner's quarters. Very soon he will set the ball rolling by ensuring that those projects are completed.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner Orji Uchenna Orji, if we had 3 hours to talk about all that's going on in the Ebonyi State, it will not be enough.
I tell you.
I tell you. But I want to thank you so much for coming. Mr. Orji Uchenna Orji is a Commissioner for Information and State Orientation and Acting Commissioner for Human Capital Development and Monitoring. Thank you for coming to tell us about the happenings and the roadmap in Ebonyi State.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So as we'll be back for the home stretch, please stay with us.